everybody, I hope you're all doing well, and today I have kind of a Stampin' Up! Fun card panel that I have made, and I'm going to make it for you today, and it's featuring the stamp set A Nice Cuppa, and I know that this is an older one, but I just really like it. We are tea drinkers in our house, and it's just a very fun sort of stamp set. So I went ahead and did a little 3D motion here with my tea bag, kind of as if your cups of tea, and you kind of have your tea bag hanging out. So I will show you how I did that as we go. So I've got, let's see here, I've already cut my card panels down. I'm using, this is from the farmer's market, which is older as well, but you could use whatever color scheme you like. I mean, this is just the method. And this is cut slightly smaller than an A2 size card. This is not Stampin' Up! This is something that I really like. It's like this sort of historical wallpapery sort of feel. And this is cut to an A2 size panel. So in the end, these are going to obviously layer like that, and I like the little border it gives. So let's go ahead and do some stamping. For our teacups, I've got the stackable one that says there's always time for tea, and I am using the Sweet Sugar Plum. Now it is quite a bit lighter, as you can see, but when you stamp it onto the porous sort of mustardy colored paper here, it does give a darker sort of tint. So I did go ahead and put glossy accents on that, as you can probably see the glare there, and just because I felt like it needed a little something something. And so so yes, this is much lighter than on normal, if you were to do it on white paper. But having said that, I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Make sure it's nice and inked up there, and I'm just going to kind of almost to the bottom in the center, going to go like that. Now to do my lemon slices, you could make a mask of this. You could stamp this a second time onto some like printer cheap paper and then cut it out and then put it over, and then you can overlap your lemon slices a bit, but I found that I didn't really need to do that in this instance, so I'm not doing that in this video. I'm going to grab a baby wipe. While I have my ink out, I'm going to go ahead rather and stamp out my little tea bag. Stamp that on some scrap of the same paper, and we're going to be using the die set to cut that out. Oops, that didn't work very well, did it? Alright, and I'm going to, in a little while, run that through my Big Shot, and you just kind of use some removable I use Post-it note tape, and just to hold that in place, or if you have a magnetic die plate, you could do that. I don't have that, so I have to tape it down. Alright, for our lemon slices that comes in our set, I love that. It's just very refreshing, and to lighten it up and keep the refreshing feel of it, I used my all-time favorite, you guessed it, Lawn Fawn Yeti ink, but you could use whatever white ink that you have that is opaque, because we want it to kind of stick out on our yellow paper. Then we're going to come also through with the plain tea bag that I had there earlier, and randomly as well, with our little tea bag here and there, and we're just kind of making our own little pattern paper, if you will. If you have tea paper left over from that set, you could do whatever you want, but this is what spoke to me, so yeah. And then we're going to have our little dangly there. So that's basically all of our stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff away. Tell the difference. You can see why I used glossy accents on there. It's just kind of, because of the dark paper, it comes across a little on the dull side. I think it's still pretty, but I think the glossy accents kind of lifts it up a little bit. So that's my reasoning behind that. To make my tea bag whole, I simply took my, you could use your paper piercer. I have a Tim Holtz stabber I'm sure that's not what it's called. I'm going to use my little foam thing here to give myself something to poke through. And just slightly above and to the right of the center, you just simply poke a hole through. And we'll do the same once we get him cut out. So I will be right back. Alright, so I've cut out my cute little tea bag here, and I'm going to go ahead and poke a hole in that and just basically centered, just like so. And then I'm going to use, because we need to do this first before we attach it obviously to our back panel. So this is a pretty simple card, you know, there's not a whole lot to this. I'm stamping in a little thread. I'm using some you know, sewing thread that's shiny metallic gold, but you could use, I know Stampin' Up has some, I have some from Stampin' Up, and where is it? No idea. So I had to break into my sewing stuff. And so what we're going to do is sort of feed through our little tea bag first. So obviously the hole is very, very tiny. So this is where threading a needle comes in handy. But if you can't get it through the hole, just push it, use your tool here to kind of push the thread through the hole. But you should be fine. And then go ahead and cut some off. And we're going to take both of those threads now, and we're going to put them through the hole in our panel. Oh, look at that. First time. Alright, so we want it to be a little bit dangly, so you just kind of have to just play around with it, see what works. That's kind of my thing, looks right to me there. So holding that, pinching that, and putting it down onto your surface, we're just going to, obviously we can trim this, we don't need that much extra, and we're just going to basically adhere that down with our tape, and that'll help adhere our panel anyway. Alright, double check, make sure he's dangling, okay. And then we can go ahead and put the rest of our tear and tape, or whatever, score tape, whatever. And then we're going to take our card panel and go ahead and adhere this down. Super simple. Okay. So we don't tear our tea bag here. Alright, so next up is to go ahead and use your glossy accents. You could use your Wink of Stella. That would be pretty as well. Mine's kind of being rebellious and doing strange things, so I'm just going to use my glossy accent. Squirt that out. You could use a paintbrush, is what I did with that, or you can kind of use the tip to move it about and go along, almost like you're coloring type of idea. Now, while this is drying, take care to get your tea bag out of there so that you don't have your tea bag sort of fossilized into your glossy accents here. You could use like an old paintbrush to help move things. Alright, so when you're done filling that in, again, keep your tea bag off the side here so we don't get it in there, and I'm going to set this aside to dry and show you the rest of the card with my one that I already have ready to go here. So when it's dry and you're able to touch it without any sticky or tackiness, we're going to go ahead and adhere it onto a card base. It's just an A2 size. I just took some heavier white cardstock and cut it to 11 by 4 1/4, and then I scored it on my scoring thingamabobber, and it's a technical term, and then you just use your bone folder to fold it. And so now you can decide if you want to put it up on foam, if you want to just use regular you know, score tape or something, whatever. This one's going to open up this way, so it's going to be like that. I think I'm going to pop it up on foam since Alright, so once you have your peelies gone there, you want to line up with the thing that you cannot change, which is the fold, okay? Put it down from there. Alright, and then you can stamp on the inside as well. You can make a matching envelope with like little tea, little extras there. You can make a white envelope. You can make it out of the, if you have more of this cardstock or matching, whatever matching cardstock, or black would be pretty as well. And let's go ahead and see. What can we do in the middle here? There's always time for tea and you. And then you could put you are terrific. Sugar plum, sweet sugar plum. This is one of the newer colors. I like it a lot. Put that away. You are terrific. Just like so. Alright. And then you can sign your name or whatnot. So I'm going to let that dry. Actually, I'll stick my fingers in here. So there you have it. A cute little card with a nice little, you know, everybody's into, you know, we've got trendy things right now, the shaker card and the sort of moving card, what do they call those, with the tracks, you know, and you can move it around. And so this is a nice little 3D component that's super easy to do with some thread and a couple holes, and it looks like little tea bags hanging out of there. I just thought it was kind of fun and cute. And so there you have it. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, guys, and if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and leave comments and questions below. I do read those, and I enjoy so much people commenting, and it's always such a blessing. Thank you so much for your time, and please have a great day.